Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the MCN for Wednesday. Now there's not a huge amount going on in the community at the moment, or things, I mean look, there's stuff going on, but there's not a lot of stuff being answered against it. So when I say that, is like, well look, at the end of the day we need Kabam, Mike, Kabam, Jax to look at things in the forum and go, okay, well this stuff we'll bring it to the game team, they then get answers, and then we find out, okay, well what are Kabam actually doing about stuff? Because a lot of the time we can ask questions and go, what are Kabam doing about things? But a lot of the time, we don't get answers. And look, that's the name of the game. That is what it is. So I'm sure we'll find some answers to some things in the future. Hopefully Friday's MCN is chock full. I can't speak properly. I even said cock right then. Apologies. Sometimes I do stumble on my words. I do talk a lot when it comes to making videos. But let's start off with Primordial Dust. And I nearly said Primordial Ooze, but I didn't. I said Primordial Dust. So if I say ooze, I apologise. But in any case, Primordial Dust. Dust anyone? Dust? No. Where do we get the rest of it? A lot of people are asking that same particular question. Where do I get more dust from? You know, I've got a certain amount of dust. Where do I get more dust from? Events and objectives is the answer with this one. So if you've collected everything from the Enlistment Alliance based event, you'll know that you've done all of those. We should have done all of those by now. And then kind of going like, why can't I do anything more? Where's the other stuff? And this is where we covered at the start of the month, and we'll continue to cover when its future dust is coming to your accounts. And that will come in shape and form of objectives. What particular objectives? Well, objectives that are starting as of tomorrow, which are these objectives right here. The ones for Battlegrounds, where you get an additional 70 Primordial Dust, 50 going into the tier 1, 20 into the tier 2. Do bear in mind when it comes to the, I think it's the tier 1 side of things, it can go into your stash, which is something to warn you all. Do watch out if it does go into your stash. I had some going into my stash the other day and I was like, oh criminy, I've got to make decisions on that stuff. Luckily I did make a decision of ascending my Nick Fury. I've resigned myself to the fact that I am probably never going to pick up a 6-star version of the champion, which, you know, it's been a ongoing thing. You know what's going to happen. I'm going to do a crystal opening at the end of this month and find I pick him up as a 6-star, I'll be like, oh my. But let's go with the fact that I'm probably not. So the 5-star version is ascended and probably going to do a video. May have already done a video on this particular champion. So yeah, speaking of videos, I hopefully will have a version 2 of the spreadsheet that I've been kind of like building out. I'm hoping that's kind of it. But with version 2, I'm going to add some more kind of like champions interactions and things just to build it out, as it's kind of only partway finished. But there's been so much to cover when it comes to MCOC that I've just been a bit too, you know, preoccupied with other things. So trying to find the time to build that spreadsheet has been, slash infographic, has been a bit time consuming. But, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's very important. So, what else is to talk about? Well, as you know, game dust is easy, but what is going on with bugs in MCOC? And that's something as well very important. We must throw ourselves to the Trello board. I want to see if there's any updates to certain things that maybe Kabam are kind of like, you know, fixing, say they're going to fix and stuff like that. So let's get this all kind of zoomed in just so we can have a little look here, a little look-see. So gameplay, what's under gameplay? Defenders are occasionally able to throw a special attack between heavy attack hits. That's annoying. Fixing development and under investigation. Attack chain index isn't resetting. These are the things that's still on there. And yeah, player characters can sometimes disappear during run-in. Well, anyway. What else? Well, there's also top issues, which is there's a random crash on game start for iOS users. Some iOS users will be locked out of the game after their device is updated. I don't know if there's like, I don't know if that's been resolved. Inconsistency of control inputs. What's this? I think this is just a generic thing. Oh no, that's just a generic thing. I thought it was going to be something, you know, spicy like Kabam, but just admitting to some new bug. Champions. Oh, the Kingpin thing? Yep. Captain Marvel's SP3 is a visual issue on specific maps. Iron Man Infinity War is gaining power from the second clause of his signature, even when he has no armor active. Gambit's prowess is neutralized. He cannot gain kinetic charges. Ultron's Hulkbuster synergy is removing the heal block after 1 quarter rise. Adam Warlock can throw special attacks when his stasis pod is active. How annoying. Gladiator's SP1 can miss hits on cornered opponents. Iceman lost his armor burn tag. Well, that's annoying. Crossbones is generating more combat power than intended. There's the Rintra stuff. What happened with that? Do you remember there was this big thing about Rintra may be nerfed in the future? It looks like Kabam have kind of sidelined that and have to figure out how they're gonna. It still was out. Was the last time we left? It was. They don't know what they're gonna do about it in the meantime. From a quest perspective, nothing really interesting. What else? Battlegrounds. I don't know if Battlegrounds is going to be sorted out. Alliance War scoring is awarding incorrect amount. Players are unable to enter. Oh, get into shot, Richard. Players are unable to enter the attack phase in a different battle group. Oh no, we're in the wrong one. Get in the right one. Timing out of a round pause screen results in disconnecting a loss. Medals are not awarded correctly. I mean, that's kind of a story at the moment. No jokes. Obviously, that's a joke. Say that, look, we're not getting what we want when it comes to the scoring system. Sorry, the medal system. I don't think Kabam plans to deal with it. But as I said, tomorrow will all be about trying to figure out, is it improved? Has the battleground system improved? In any case, a few whiffs of striker stuff, and yeah, just usual things. I mean, there's nothing really much more go over with that. It is what it is. Now on to one of our, well, I'd say most important, but this is all down to rumour and speculation, because I've been trying to dig into this particular story a little bit more. There's some potential truth to it, but there's potentially not. So take this with a grain of salt, and I've done the best I can to research what I can. So I saw this dust exploit. So Saham says, I'm hearing chatter that there is an exploit of obtaining dust to ascend 6 stars already. Evidently changing alliances and recollecting rewards. Not sure if this is true or not, but if it is, I hope Kabam has a way of discouraging or correcting this. I'm waiting potentially for my last 20 dust and the Paragon event to acquire it. Seems a little unfair that I'm seeing ascended 6 stars already when there is a way to obtain them without exploiting. And do bear in mind, this is very fresh. So this is recorded on a Tuesday, put out on a Wednesday. If you're interested in the timeline of when I record this stuff. So at the point of recording this video, this is the information that I know. And this is on the forums, but we do potentially have an image to back up this claim. We'll see in a second. I've seen the same and wondered how they already got the 200 tier 2 dust to ascend their 6 stars. I'm still waiting for Battlegrounds Enlistment Event to get the last 20. Let's see if Kabam considered this an exploit. Some members of this community definitely exploit some kind of dust. I think they're talking about people doing a little bit of a powdery snort, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Doing a bit of Charlie. If you're Charlie, not you. It's a British saying. Doing a spot Charlie. Actually, I think Charlie was something else. I don't know. Be pretty weird to switch alliances with like one war left in the middle of an AQ cycle just for some dust. Unless people could cycle it dozens, if not hundreds of times, which would clearly be intentional exploitation. Not a, oops, I didn't know what happened. It would be worth anyone doing this. So this could be something that could be quite major. Look, a lot of people had done that the enlistment switching, and this is where things get a little bit kind of like sticky, isn't it? Because it's like saying like, okay, well, I'm with my alliance at the moment and I've left, I've gone to another one, and that's how we had the crystal, the enlistment crystal exploit. That's how that happened, by going to different alliances and picking up all those tickets. So people were picking up all those tickets. Same way, they could be picking up all of these particular selectors and picking up more 7 stars or whatever star shards, and that could be something that's quite crucial, and as well, really bad, to be honest. Like really bad for making progression just being a little bit, disgusting, really. So a lot of players like myself, like this player here on Reddit, is still at a point where they need 20 more of the Primordial Dust to get their 6-star ascended. And I did think to myself, like, okay, is there more to this that meets the eye? Is there any kind of like truth to the matter? Are things a little bit kind of like potentially suspicious? Well, it turns out there's some truth to it. So I was on Reddit and having a look to see if there was any evidence of this, and yes, there is evidence. Now, of course, this person's been kind of blurred, blacked out and stuff, but this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-star ascended rank 3 6-star hit monkey. And look, I'm sure, look, it's not a rank 5 version. It's certainly not a Hercules 6-star rank 5 ascended champion. It's not one of the top tier champions. I'm not saying Hitmonkey is not a top tier champion, but what I'm saying is it's not rank 5 versions. It's not the more potent champions in game. It's not prestige leaders. It's not, you know, yeah, just some of the top tier type champions. It's not even top tier defender type champions. You know, like saying like, oh, I'm not going to rank 5 and ascend to Korg, or yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You get the point. So this indeed backs up that particular point. So even though I did say take it with a pinch of salt, there is obviously evidence, but this is the next thing, and this is one of the other kind of things that Kabam may need to answer against this. Is an ascended version of a 6-star going to break the game? It's highly unlikely. It doesn't affect prestige. It's just the case it gives you more health and more attack. But it's the benefit that these particular accounts are gaining. Like a Cavalier player, if indeed this person is a Cavalier player, is then making those particular gains, then that's unfair to everybody else. That's the first thing. And secondly, it's unfair against the system. So it needs to be dealt with. And whether or not Kabam will deal with it. And as well, how deep does it run? Because that's the thing we did kind of like have a look in this particular thread when it comes to, you know, talking more about this dust exploit. How deep does it run? Are people in mass, or these particular people just switching between alliance to alliance, doing the event, getting the dust, and then moving to the next one? Just don't know how deep it runs. And it's certainly not something that's been overly talked about, especially since like the the enlistment crystal situation, which we discussed on the channel last week. I tell you what, a week in MCOC, it just feels like a month that's gone by. Like, I'm doing so much content that I normally don't do in about 2 weeks. It's a case of like, now I'm saying to myself, I have to do Stormbreaker by end of play tomorrow, so I can get a video about a Paragon guide out, a Paragon Gauntlet guide, which I'm like, people have already done this within 24 hours, and I'm thinking to myself like, damn, I even like 1 week and I've done most content and I already feel behind. That's weird. That is weird for this game. And in Battlegrounds, like, gonna have to get motoring with that. So lots on, pretty excited. Incursions, just did a bit of a run in that one as well. So lots on, lots to do. But what are your thoughts on this particular subject? Put it in the comment section down below. I will leave a link to this thread in the description if you do want to check it out. And that's been it. Kabam didn't post the arena, like, for that's going to drop on Thursday. They seem to be running this a bit later on than they normally do, especially for me when I access it on a Tuesday night UK time. So I'll do this on Wednesday. On Friday, I'll do a Friday, in the Friday MCN, I'll do arena predictions. But that's been a video. Thank you very much for watching. Check out some other content. Oh no, thank you very much to those who support the channel as a YouTube member, as a patron, on screen. Yeah, and also on Twitch and all that stuff. But yeah, make sure as well to check out some other content located on screen, and I'll see you all soon. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.